Hi, I wanted to take a moment to showcase how Dorothy could have been leveraged during the recent tornado events that happened all last week and the week before. So right now we are integrating with a number of real-time weather databases across the country to track and analyze different types of tornado events. We not only do this for tornadoes, but we do it for several other types of storms. But today I'm just going to be showing you a use case of how your team could have leveraged this information in real time to either mobilize or identify where damage was occurring and the properties that were affected. So in our system, we have a 3-year historical database, but right now I'll be focused on everything that happened in the last couple of weeks. These are the active paths that had actually touched down. They are segmented by the EF rating attached to them, and then all the individual paths would be located in a feed below. You can zoom into your coverage area. Right now, what I'll be showing you is a couple of EF4s that occurred in Michigan and Indiana. They're segmented by color, so you can quickly identify which ones might have been more severe. You can zoom in on the area that was actually affected and identify the different wind speeds along that path. You can load all the properties that were within the damage path here. And then you can even pull damage points along the path. And these damage points are linked to actual government level surveys of the properties or of the locations where these damage points are shown on our map. So this is a visual confirmation that a certain property or location has some damage on it. Here's an overview of some of the information that would be included if you clicked on that damage point. This is a brick church that sustained damage during that tornado. Another one, I believe, is this one is just some tree fall, but this one here is a small, medium-sized office building. Be able to pull the address of that property here as well. Another cool feature that we've built in is, in addition to identifying all the damage points and the properties that fall within the swath, you can also kind of pull all of the properties and their addresses and even who owns them on here with this feature. So the way that would work is you would create a property list. You would fill in the types of properties you're looking to pull, whether it's commercial, residential, etc. You could even put a minimum estimated value of the property. So if you're focused on large losses or, kind of multifamily residential homes, you can enter in over here. You would create a list and you pull the amount of properties you want. And all that information would get fed into your property list table. And you could essentially identify all the properties that fell within a certain tornado, identify who owns them, best way to contact them to confirm if they've actually sustained any damage, and then start, helping people with recovery, whether it's on the public adjuster side or, you're in the restoration industry, whatever it might be, to improve the way that people get back on their feet. So just wanted to show this as a use case for some things that are new in our system that we're excited about sharing. This is a national scale database. So we have every single state that you can imagine, and we're picking up on this every hour we update our system. So it's as real time as we could possibly get it. And it's all compiled. So our aim is to really shrink the amount of research and manual efforts that all your teams are working on to identify which properties and where to target. So that's it. Feel free to reach out to me directly if you have questions or you want a more in-depth demo of our product. Thanks so much.